Man, another one bites the dust, fight fans. What's up, man? Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. What up to the fam? What up to everybody in Mainman Mademan's boxing form? Damn, man, the thing is this. It looks as if that word on the curb, the long rumored fight between Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara, looks like it's not going to be happening, at least not so much in the near future, fight fans. According to the latest reports, the WBA has now came out and reordered the mandatory fight between Erislandy Lara and his mandatory and Michael Zerafa. And it said that if these two fighters did not come up with a deal by February the 15th, then it will go to a purse bid where Erislandy Lara will be entitled to a 75-25 split. So this pretty much leaves Danny Garcia out in the cold, fight fans. According to a recent interview that was done by Angel Garcia over there on YSM Sports Media, Angel Garcia, when asked about this order, he says, and I quote, "Politics. Anything's possible," end quote. Well, hearing an answer like that, fight fans, it doesn't sound too assuring from Angel Garcia that this thing is going to be blown over. It looks as if that Danny Garcia may not be getting his shot. When also he said further in the interview, he says that, and I quote, "We're going to go out there if it happens. And if not, it's on to bigger and better things," end quote. Doesn't sound like somebody who has this thing locked down as a sure thing, fight fans. Don't sound like it's going to be happening. And this basically going to pretty much leave Danny Garcia in what I like to call no man's land. However, it's going a little something like this, man. I know a lot of people hear this story and they probably say the first thing is, oh, Premier Boxing Champions then messed it all up, man. Here we go with the stalling and so on and so forth. When I don't think that that's the case in this situation. The thing is, according to recent reports, Premier Boxing Champions did try to make attempts to make Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara last year, but there were a lot of moving parts, and unfortunately, they could not nail down a date. According to a recent letter that was sent to both sides, Lara's side as well as Michael Zerafa's side, it reads a little something like this. Your champion status was conditioned to 9 months mandatory defense period. And since you won the title on May 1st, 2021, the next obligatory championship bout is past due from February the 1st, 2022, and shall box against official contender Michael Zerafa. So the way this all went, fight fans, is that Erislandy Lara won the WBA regular championship May 1st of 2021 by beating Thomas Cornflake LaManna. The thing is that as he went on, as you can see from this letter, it stated that he had a 9 months mandatory defense period. However, as time went on and we crossed over to 2022, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, retired and he vacated the WBA Super Championship as well as the IBF. And it seems as if Erislandy Lara was then stepped up to full-fledged WBA Super Champion. He then went on to defend that belt against Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Now, it seems as if, at least according to this letter, he was supposed to still make his title defense, I guess, against Michael Zerafa, and that did not happen. And I guess that was supposed to happen February the 1st of 2022. Now, if you think about it, Michael Zerafa signed a deal in November of 2022 with Premier Boxing Champions. My guess is if Premier Boxing Champions was going to have to deal with that mandatory, they wanted control of Michael Zerafa. And so Michael Zerafa signed to them November of 2022, putting him in line to go ahead and get that Erislandy Lara fight. But then talks about Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara started to happen. And Michael Zerafa was wondering what was going to happen from that situation. Well, it seems as if a lot of stalling happened and a lot of behind the scenes willing and dealing started to go down. And what happened is that Michael Zerafa was convinced to step aside. And on top of that, he will perhaps be on the undercard of Erislandy Lara versus Danny Garcia. According to recent reports from Boxing Scene, it stated that in August of 2023, TGB Promotions attempted to rent a venue or put in for the fight between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia, but for some odd reason that they were unsuccessful. And it also reports that they wanted to redo it in December of 2023, But given the announcement between Showtime and Premier Boxing Champions relationship coming to an end, well, that messed up things for that particular card as well. On top of that, Michael Zerafa was also ordered by the IBF fight fans to go off and square off against the next available contender there, a man by the name of Esquiva Falco. And, you know, Michael Zerafa attempted to sit down with Falco, but they did not see eye to eye. One side wanted it to go to purse bid, and Falco fights for top rank. Zerafa being with Premier Boxing Champions, and we know that if two sides of the street don't want to come together, purse bids are not going to make it happen. And so given that a purse bid was ordered in that situation instead of a deal, Michael Zerafa walked away from that and attempted to try to go back into negotiations with Erislandy Lara. So all of this took place in the span of 2023, fight fans. And the thing is though all of this was going on, unfortunately, no one got a fight. Now, Erislandy Lara has not been in a ring since he fought Gary Spike O'Sullivan in May of 2022. And Michael Zerafa, since signing with Premier Boxing Champions in November of 2022, well, he hasn't had a fight at all since signing with Premier Boxing Champions. Hasn't been in the ring at all in 2023. And also, Danny Garcia is another one who's been trying to put this all together. He's another one who's been keeping himself out of the ring this whole time as well, or trying to wait for a deal and date from Premier Boxing Champions. So that leads us basically until today. And now that we're at a point where since the December fallout happened, Michael Zerafa has been hopping mad, jumping and screaming that he wants his shot. He feels as though he is due his shot, and he is tired of letting Erislandy Lara off the hook, according to Michael Zerafa. So, you know, Zerafa is like, hey, man, it's time for, you know, you to take on me. You can't be picking and choosing no more. No, I want my shot. According to Michael Zerafa, and I quote, I've worked my entire life and dedicated everything to this sport and haven't come this far to only come this far. Come fight night, whether it's Danny Garcia or Erislandy Lara, I will have my hand raised and there will be a new WBA world champion in the division. Damn. So Michael Zerafa is meaning business. He wants his shot. He's sick and tired of sitting around. And at this point, he just wants his opportunity at a world championship. I'm sure he's not probably much thinking money at this point, because maybe him and Lara is not a big time money fight, but he knows if he can get his hands on that championship title, he can pivot into a unification and then go for the big money. According to Michael Zerafa, he left this on his social media. You've been the current champion for almost 2 years without a defense. He says that time to test your skill against someone that you can't pick. Me, you're mandatory, end quote. Michael Zerafa wants the opportunity. And keep in mind, fight fans, is that Zerafa is still under the Premier Boxing Champions umbrella from what I understand. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But either way it goes, if this thing goes to a purse bid, well, they still going to have to find a date for Zerafa and Lara if it comes down to if it's still lined up that way. But it's very unfortunate, man, and that you know, it went this way. But Premier Boxing Champions did attempt to make this fight in August of 2023, and they also wanted to do it in December of 2023. But once again, unfortunately, it fell through, and it didn't work itself out that way. Now, my deal is this, man. You gotta go back to 154, bro. That's the only thing that makes sense. Hell, you shouldn't even be trying to get a 160-pound title, and then you trying to fight the man at 155 to get it. Come on, champ. Stay at 154, man. Stop ducking smoke. All that work down there, fight fans. Charlos, all of the Latin fighters like Fundora and Mendoza's. Man, he ain't mixing up with none of these cats. Erickson Lubin down there. You ain't mixing up with nobody. You just came through the division like the wind, man, and just breezed through. And now you try and skip the division and try and cherry pick. So I want to see Danny Garcia go back to 154. See if he can maybe, you know, end his career on a high note and see how it goes, man. But all of this looking for an easy lick, man, I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes, man. Danny's name probably still got a little weight behind it, and maybe he can lure somebody into a fight. But, you know, maybe he even can get Buzz attention if he try. But right now, he ain't even trying. It's like he's just trying to look for an easy cherry pick, fight fans. That's what it seems to me. So 54 is the answer. See, Danny got to understand that his name don't hold the same weight that it used to. It don't have the same amount of momentum that it used to. You know, a lot of people in Philadelphia are mad at Danny Garcia that he avoided Jerron Boots Ennis and didn't want to try to pass the torch on to the young boy. The thing is also, this current generation of boxing fans, well, They don't remember a lot of the stuff that Danny did back at 140. That was a long time ago. The Eric Morales fights, the Zab Zuda fights, the Amir Khan fights. That was many, many moons ago. And a lot of those fans have grown up or moved on and maybe not even watching the sport no more. And the latest generation of boxing fans, all they remember Danny for is losing. So I don't know how many bells his names is still ringing, but Danny Garcia, man, he didn't deserve this title shot anyway, so it is what it is. Years ago, I wanted to see him and Bud square off, but that train has left the station. And it is what it is right now. Maybe Bud Crawford will throw him a bone and throw him some relevance, but I seriously doubt it. And it is what it is, Joe. So he is in no man's land. He better hope that his name still rings bells with a few other fighters, or maybe Premier Boxing Champions can find a date for him. But if not, man, Danny is just sharp. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Simple and Simon. But we'll see how this all plays out in the end. Who knows? Premier Boxing Champions can wave a magic wand and the WBA can change their whole stance. With all parties involved like this, man, you just honestly never, ever know. So we'll see. Thumbs up on the way out. If you didn't hit it on the way in. Share, rock the bells, man. Damn, Danny. Look like you are left in the cold, homie. I know you're going to be hoping that Charlo say his name, but last I heard, Charlo moving up to 168, right? And then on top of that, shit, Carlos Adames, who's the WBC interim champion, well, he's not going to sit there and allow Danny Garcia to push him out the way. It just ain't going to happen. So we'll see. To the next video, man. Peace out.